Alright, so I went and found a core shim, and I've never, I've shimmed a core from the front, but I've never done it from the rear. That's what she said. And it's actually easier that way because there's this lip in the way most of the time, and you can't do it from the front. So instead of doing like, if you're doing it from the front, you do pin 1. If you're doing it from the rear, you have to start with, in this case, pin 6. Usually American locks are not pinned up in pin 6 position, even though they have that drilled. I think this is an Ace, which is a clone of, I'm trying to find a deep, digging through my kit here and trying to find a hook. A gem should work. I didn't know I was going to have to pick it or I'd have been ready. I'm just going to turn it. For me, usually it's getting that first one that helps guide it. After that, it helps position them. I don't know if you can see all this, but I'm just taking this hook and I'm turning it upside down. And that might not be the right way because I'm not having any success. And then I'm just going to go in here and kind of, God, there's so much junk. I wonder I couldn't find out where I'm at. This is going to take longer. I got to get up in 6 hours. I didn't know this was going to be involved. Maybe I should cut this out and not bore you with how to shim from the rear, but that's what I'm going to have to do. This is one case where you really have to do it because the key will not fit into this. See that? And I've even tried to like push pin 1 up, you know, so, oh, there we go. I got it in. It still is not turning though. I don't think because I shimmed something. Maybe no, it's seized up. There's something, definitely something weird going on. But I don't know what it was I did that caused me to seize the key up. Ooh, look, I pulled it. And pins go dropping out. This is not the way I planned to pull this core out. I didn't know this key was going to work. The reason why you need to have a unpicked or whatever is so you can position the pins properly so they won't just fall out like just happened to me. So I don't know what position that one fell out of, but we'll continue on with a follower. And there's a little groove here in this follower, probably for some particular purpose, but I'll slam it in there and hope for the best. And I didn't go fast enough, so another pin and spring fell out. I don't have my pinning mat positioned right. It's organized real self. These pins in here are from another project I never completely completed. Ew. And that's where that little shoe comes in handy, or that little holder thing that I'm not using right now. And I just almost dumped everything. Let me get this pin out of here. This spring. And everybody else is falling out of there. Well, you know, you're just going to have to figure that out later on. Just dump it all out. Pull the little springs out there. I hope you can see all this. Hope this has been in camera, this fiasco. It's not a Bosnian build disassembly, that's for sure. It's one of those, wow, watch it fall apart type things. But these little gadgets right here are cool to prevent what I just about did. This is too big. And this one is just right. See, it holds those. Oh, I've been off camera the whole time. It holds these little things, the core things. Very technical. Well, this is the Bible. And there's a lot of brass chunks in here. No threading, of course, because I haven't done anything to this. This is a standard American lock, but before even trying to use this, this is good. This part right here is good. You still need to clean up all the brass and crap from it. But this is the damaged part, and the key pins I knew were good. So let's try to count up the springs that we have and the pins and see how many things were recovered from this, because I don't think anything else bounced out. I could be wrong. Now there's a spring that's messed up pretty badly in here. Let me check this. Right now I'm only seeing 3 pins, and I know there are more than 3 pins. Something weird could have been going on. I got 2 spools. A serrated spool, a serrated one, another serrated spool, a bent up spring. I could have done that in the disassembly, but I don't think so. It's really, there's something weird going on in that lock. More so than having just 3 pins out of a 5-pin lock. I'm sure there's 5. One has gone running away when this disassembly process. Oh, there he is, another little spool. So it had 3 spools and 1, and I knew, see, there's only 4 springs also. So I knew that this thing was something wrong with it, that there was a pin missing somewhere. So it was actually a 4-pin lock. And I don't know which slot was missing, because usually I believe it's pin 6 is not keyed up. Well, you can see it right here. Pin 6 was not used. So let's go ahead and pull out the pins here and try to keep them in some kind of order. So I'm going to put pin 1 down here where there's nobody. And that's a serrated. It's got 2 serrations on it. A serrated key pin. I don't know if you can see this. I'm doing all this off camera again. Like I said, it's a new angle for me. And only because I'm just going to dump them all out and then bring them up into camera height later. Or after this. Not later. Oops. That one is actually key pin for this one. You can figure this out later on if you screw it up. So there we go. There's the damaged area after that. This is all I would really need to replace. I don't know what the core itself. I'm just looking at it off camera off to the side. I want to see if I drilled into it. I know I drilled into it, but I mean, yeah, I screwed that up pretty good. I went up through here. I don't know if that's a channel or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyways, I got it apart. Let us look at what we've got here. This is the pins. Ignore those 4 on the bottom. And see, they have pretty good. It's a good lock. It was fun to pick. And I could still put it back together, you know, and just make it as a pick only lock. Just change that spring out. But there you go. I know there's like 10 minutes worth of me painfully gutting this lock, but that's the end of this story of the broken key. I still have, I mean, it could be a continuation story. Strong magnet. I still have a good body, you know, it's American lock type of body, and I can get another core eventually. But I've gone as far as I can go on that. At least I got the key out and I got it apart and I can reuse it. So there you go. Hope everybody's having a good time, and I have to go to work in the morning, so I can't play around anymore.